Hello and welcome to section 16. In this video we'll be going over example 1. Example 1 looks at a differential equation and we use the method of substitution to find the particular response. So if you remember back in section 14 we had source-free or unforced first order circuits. In this section we're going to add in a forcing function. So if our forcing function is DC, so like 12 volts, 2 amps, whatever, the particular response will be constant. If it's sinusoidal, so if we have some kind of sinusoidal input, then our output will also be sinusoidal. It might have different magnitude or something. Same thing for exponential. If our input is exponential, then our particular response will be exponential. Basically, the form of the particular response is dictated by whatever our forcing function or our source is. So let's look at how we find that. So we have this differential equation, di dt plus 10I equals 500e raised to the negative 2t. And we're asked to find the particular response of this. You'll notice that this function now has a non-zero right-hand side. So again, if this was 0, we wouldn't have a particular response. But in all the problems we look at for section 16 and in section 17, we will have a forcing function. So our right-hand side will be non-zero. We also refer to the right-hand side as g of t. All right. So let's hop over to some paper and work this out. So we're given the differential equation di dt plus 10I equals 500e to the negative 2t. To find the particular response, we are going to assume that this right-hand side takes the form a e to the spt. So this form should look familiar. It's very similar to the natural response. So in this case, a would be 500, and then s particular would be negative 2. So this is important because we're going to, so just like when we found S1, the rate of decay, we can find the particular response with the same similar method of substitution. So we're going to say that dt is equal to sp, which in this case is negative 2. So if I sub that in, then I will get negative 2 I, and typically what we'll do to note what we're doing is we'll call this I particular. So it is I up here, but because we're finding I particular, we're going to note that this is I particular. Plus 10 I particular equal to the right-hand side, we just leave that alone, 500e negative 2t. So we do some quick math. We find that we have 8 I particular equal to 500e negative 2t. And then finishing up, we have I particular equals 500 divided by 8e negative 2t, and that simplifies down to 62.5 e to the negative 2t. So this would be the particular response. And what we would do, kind of foreshadowing, is we would have some function I of t equal to I particular plus I natural. We would put this in for I particular. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me.